Vikki Slade.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Since becoming a Member of Parliament earlier this year, I've been heartened every time I hear ministers confirm that business rate reform is planned. I know what impact business rates can have on town centres through my work as a council leader and my own time owning and operating a high street business for nearly 14 years within my constituency of Mid Dorset and North Poole. Not anymore, so I don't need to declare it as an interest. This is why I was so disappointed to read this bill, which simply tinkers around the edges and does nothing to fix the foundations of our town centres or do anything about the inequity of business rates between physical and online businesses. I welcome the higher rate aimed at large warehouses, but it doesn't go far enough. These online businesses have sucked the life out of our high streets, and if what's proposed in this bill is the extent of the change, it isn't going to support anyone. Yes, of course.
I thank the Honourable Member for giving way. On that point around online businesses, it's not just the favourable business rates that benefit these businesses, it's the tax loopholes that they can use to prevent paying the taxes that small businesses pay as a proportion of their profits. Would she agree with me that the government has other mechanisms for raising such funding?
Thank you. I absolutely agree with you, and thank you for that intervention. I was just about to say we need a proper tech tax on online businesses, and it should be ring-fenced to stay in local communities where councils can use it to support town centres in the way that works for them. Many councils are not able to keep the business rates that are accrued in their areas. They are set externally, they are sent elsewhere to support other communities. And this is something that is not understood or even appreciated by local communities. I cannot remember the number of times as a local government leader I was shouted at by people saying, "You're making all that money as a council." People think that the councils own the businesses, that they own the properties and that they set the rates. The fact that it is set elsewhere and that the councils then do not have the power to discount those without having to plug the gap, not just for their own area, but in what they send to government. That's what real reform looks like. Yes, of course.
Deputy Speaker, I'm very grateful for her giving way, and I think she's making some wide-ranging points. I would like to say that I think the government's policy in this area is excellent, but also just to remind her that there are a range of other policies which local government themselves can implement, and I'd like to commend my own local council in Reading, where there's been a lot of work in the town centre to try and keep local small businesses active in the town centre. Planning, a range of other things, working with the business community is also really important. I just wondered if she wanted to comment on that.
Absolutely. I mean, we were looking to work with the rental auctions that are coming in, and I'm encouraged to hear when I was leading for as the Lib Dem spokesperson in a Westminster Hall debate a few weeks ago, that is coming through, and I hope that it comes through quickly and that actually it doesn't have the loopholes that I feared that it was going to have. But if I could just move on to my concerns about this policy, in that, we need to make sure that those who profit from businesses pay. Business rates, as described in this bill, are related not just to the rateable value, but it's explicitly linked to the rental value. It bears no relationship to the type of business, its profitability, or its broader benefits to the community or to society. And I'd like to give you an example. And I know it's accurate because it's the figures from my own business that I used to own. It does predate the retail, hospitality and leisure discount, but given that that's not guaranteed to be continued in any way, I think the numbers will startle you. We owned a cafe on a high street in an affluent community with an older population, with competition from several sources including a Costa franchise and a church cafe, which of course pays no rates. The rent on our cafe was £25,000 a year, and our rates bill was £19,000. This meant I was not eligible for a penny of small business rate relief, so my rent and rates bill was around £4,200 a month. In a ward less than 3 miles away, Madam Deputy Speaker, a cafe on their high street was being marketed with a rental of just £12,500 and a rateable value of £11,000. Thanks to small business rate relief, and I'm sure you will say that's a great thing, and it absolutely is, they paid no rates, so their fixed outgoings was £1,900. Now, I'm sure, Madam Deputy Speaker, that you don't think we could charge 2.5 times more for a tuna mayo sandwich and a cup of coffee than the other cafe down the road. And that's the problem with the way business rate works. Yeah. This inequity and the pressure it put on my business and all those I represented when I was chair of the Broadstone Chamber of Trade and Commerce is what got me into politics, as sad as that is. But that's why I got involved, and that's why I stand here today to say to you that the Lib Dems want you to go further. We want business rates replaced with a proper landowner levy so that it's not the tenants who are paying, but those who really benefit from the property, which is the people who own it. So this may be a reasonable start, but it doesn't go far enough, and I would love you to see you go further. Thank you. Yeah.